Okay, let's start our study of factoring complex trinomials by thinking about how we expand something. If I've got 2x plus 3 times x minus 8, I'm going to multiply 2x times x first, which will give me 2x squared. And then I know that I'm going to end up multiplying the 3 and the 8 together, which was going to give me the 24. Then I will need to multiply the 3 with the x, which gives me 3x, and the 2x and the 8, which will give me 16. 16 and 3 will give me the 19x in the middle, correct? Well, so we just did was expand. But what we're doing in this section is going backwards. So if I give you 2x squared plus 19x plus 24, and I want to find out what are the brackets, I would be factoring. Notice that the middle term, this 19 that I got right here, I got it by multiplying the 3 and the x and the 2x and the 8. If for some strange reason I would put the brackets one on top of each other, the 3 times x would be this one, and the 2x times 8 would be this one. So it feels like we're cross-multiplying in this weird section. So why am I bringing this up? Because here's one way that we can do it. So let's say we start with 2x squared plus 19x plus 24, and now we need to factor this, which means we need to find out what are the two brackets that gives us 2x squared plus 19x plus 24. Now, of course, we already know it because we already expanded it, but let's pretend that we don't for a second. We could start by guessing what two numbers give us 2x squared. And that would be easy to guess because 2x squared is only possible by 2x times x. But if I'm trying to get the 24, I have a lot of choices. I could have 24 and 1, 12 and 2, 6 times 4, and 8 times 3. So which one is it? And one really bad way to go about it is to check things out. So maybe it's 6 and 4. And then I will cross multiply, or not, sorry, I will just multiply this guy and try to see if I can make 19. So with 6x and 8x that I get from the inside and the outside, 6x and 8x, can I make 19? And I say, no, I can't. Okay, so I'm going to erase these numbers, and I'm going to try maybe the other way around. Maybe if I say 4 and 6. Okay, so that gives me in the inside is 4x, and the outside it's 12x. With 4x and 12x, can I make 19? No, that didn't work either, so let's erase these numbers. And we can keep on trying combinations until we finally find that, oh, you know what? If I've got a 3 here and an 8 here, I'm going to have 3x and 16x. And with 3x and 16x, oh yeah, I can make 19. This must be the answer that makes it work. But writing down and erasing, it's not a really good way to go about it. So what if we have another way to make this happen? And that is what happens here at the bottom. So let's concentrate. Right, what's this? Okay, I'm going to try to figure out two numbers that multiplied to 2x squared. Well, fortunately, there's only one way to get 2x squared, and that's going to get 2x and x. I'm actually putting the brackets like this, one bracket on top of each other. So 2x and x. So what's the other number? I put an x in the middle, like a big one, to remind me that I need to cross multiply. Why cross multiply? Because that's what's going to give me the middle number, the 19x that I'm looking for. So now I need to find out numbers that multiply to 24. And here's a really nice thing. 6 and 4, for example, which we know is not going to work. We have this thing that we can use that if I have a common factor between the line or a common factor here, then that number would not work. So 6 and 4, it's not going to work because I cannot put the 2 with the 6. If I were to do 4 and 6, that's not going to work either because the 2 and the 4 have a common factor. I should have mentioned before that I need to check for common factor in our original question. Since there's no common factor here, there's no going to be common factor in any of our brackets, which means that 6 and 4 or 4 and 6 will not work. Same thing with 12 and 2. I can't put the 12 on top, I can't put the 2 on top, so I don't even need to check that answer. What about 24 and 1? Well, I can't put the 24 on top, but I can put it on the bottom. 24 and 1. And here's where we do the check to see if it works. We cross multiply, so the 2 with the 24, that gives us 48x. And the 1 and the x gives us 1x. And now we ask a silly question, but it's like with 48x and 1x, can we make 19x? And of course we cannot, so that didn't work. So let's check another one. So we got 8 and 3 left, right? And with 8 and 3, can I put the 8 on top? No, I cannot. So I need to put a 3 here and an 8 at the bottom. And now we check. Okay, 2 times 8 gives me 16 because we're cross multiplying. And x times 3 gives me 3x. And now we say, hey, with 16x and 3x, can we make 19x? And the answer is yes, as long as they're both adding. If I add them together, my first bracket is going to be 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3, that's the bracket on top. And my bottom bracket is going to be x plus 8. X plus 8, and that works. For me to be able to know that this is correct, then of course what we're going to do is we're going to expand in our heads. We're going to say, okay, 2 times x gives me 2x squared, check. Then 3 times 8 gives me 24, check. And now I got to do this. 3x plus 16x, that gives me 19x. I know this is my right answer. This is just the first example. It probably looked a little complicated. Let's go on to the next video to look at a whole bunch more to make this look a lot easier. Writing a lot less than what I just did.